I feel like sometimes I try to seem like I have it all together, but I don't. I really don't. Hey guys! So I know it's been a while since I've posted. Life's been really crazy, really busy right now. But I'm here. I'm back. We'll see how long it lasts. So anyway, it's a little bit of a story time. So a few months before leaving Seville, we got on the topic of what our biggest lesson we had learned from our time abroad had been. So, I've been thinking about that since my time in Seville has kind of come to an end, reflecting on my biggest lesson I learned, and I wanted to share with you guys. It's difficult because there have been so many, but the biggest one might surprise you actually. I learned how much I need God. I feel like I should give some context to this a bit. So I was raised in church. My parents are Christians, so we went to church every Sunday. We were there like all Sunday and things like that when I was little. But then middle school and high school came and I kind of started moving away from it, not really going to church much. It's kind of like, this is boring, why am I here, blah, 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 teenage stuff. It wasn't actually until college that I rededicated my life to Jesus. So, growing up, I always looked to boys for validation and things like that. So, this is gonna get probably deeper than I was expecting. But anyway, I always looked to boys for validation and things like that, and it was either like, boys give me validation, I'm worth something. If they don't, I'm worth nothing. That's how I felt on the inside. That's really how I felt. And I was kind of just going through life that way, and I didn't really, it got to a point where I was kind of like, in college, I didn't think I mattered. I didn't think I had purpose. I wouldn't even say I was depressed. I was just so numb, and I would tell my roommates, like, it wouldn't matter if I was here tomorrow or not. I wasn't like sad about it. I felt nothing. So that's how I lived like almost my whole life until my early 20s. I'm only 24, so until I was like 21. That way of thinking and all that stuff led me down the path that led me to, getting my heart broken and things like that. And I was at like probably my lowest point ever in my life. Skipping class, my GPA was the lowest it had ever been. I just didn't know how I was gonna survive, honestly. I didn't even know I was capable to feel any of that. I didn't know people were capable of like such betrayal. Like, I don't know, my eyes had been open to like a really dark side of the world that I think God had protected me from for a really long time. But it was like time to go through it. I just knew that I needed to pray. I didn't know what else to do, but I knew, let me just pray. It felt like the end of the world, honestly. It was the end of the world. But I didn't know it was actually the beginning. It was the beginning of my life, pretty much. So I prayed. I just prayed every single night. I prayed for understanding. I prayed for, I don't know. I don't even remember what I prayed for, but I just prayed for God to give me what I needed. And He really did. He honestly just changed everything for me. I guess this is like my testimony, but he just put people in my life that really helped me at that time and, led me closer to him. And it was just like insane. Things just started coming together in my life that it's like, there's no way it was me. I can't take the credit for it because I was in such a broken state. God was literally just guiding me to where I needed to be, what I needed to do. I was able to study abroad. That's actually what brought me to Spain for the first time. I got a scholarship to study abroad. I was like, it was a really competitive scholarship, and I don't know how I got it because I was very just all over the place at that time. All these things were coming together. I got like my first freelance video editing job and all these things that I was just like, okay, I'll take it. But I was still like really reeling a bit. I started doing all these things like reading my Bible and meditating and praying and all this stuff, and God just really changed me. He changed everything to the point where I was like, wait, I do have a purpose in life. I am loved. I'm so happy to be alive. Like, I'm so grateful for everything. It was supernatural. That's really all I can say. So, fast forward to 2020, COVID happens. But I really took that time as an opportunity to really draw close to God. And, I was reading my Bible every day. I was meditating every day, every morning, every night, all this stuff. And yeah, I just felt really whole, really secure, really safe, and just like I was growing a lot, and yeah, things like that. Finally, I came to Spain in 2021. Before going, I was like, I know I want to find a church. I know I want to be in a church community. I'm taking God with me. I am going to, I'm going to be just as strong in my faith as I am right now. And then I got to Spain. So I came to Spain, was having fun, ending the summer. Then finally I got up the strength to find a church. And I did find a church. I found a nice bilingual church in Seville. Started going to the Bible studies, and yeah, I made some friends there and stuff. But my heart just was not in it at all. It was kind of distracted, I would say. Everything kind of felt like an obligation. It was like, oh my gosh, I could either go to Bible study or I could go hang out with my friends. Sometimes I would choose Bible study, sometimes I would choose social life. And this was probably like the first half of I'm an English teacher, so like the first half of the school year. And then I actually ended up kind of seeing someone, and I would say it was another entanglement, how I started this whole journey. So I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing that again. So, but I kind of was like, I'm gonna be smarter this time. God, I know, I've learned my lesson. Clearly I didn't. I was being disobedient, and partial obedience is still disobedience. So I was kind of running from God actually at that point, or running and fighting him a little bit, and kind of just like, I want to do my own thing. This is unfair, blah, 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 stuff like that. So finally, the spring comes around, and I'm like, okay, I felt really lost. And I was like, I can't make the same mistakes, so I have to choose different. So finally, cut that off, because I was literally feeling blocked from God. I just felt like I couldn't face God, honestly and wholly. So still wasn't really feeling like the desire to be with God and to pursue him. Then it wasn't until the last 2 months I was in Seville when all my friends had left. I was literally alone. And I think that was on purpose because God used that time to really call to me again. I was looking at some old messages, and I send a lot of voice messages because I think they're way better. They get your point across, they get the intonation across, everything. But anyway, I was listening to some voice messages, and they were from the time that I was in quarantine during COVID, when I was meditating, praying every day and night, meditating every day and night, reading my Bible and all this stuff. I was listening to voice messages because I was like giving a friend advice or something. And I was like listening, and I'm like, whoa, like, how did I know to say that? Why do I sound so wise? Because I do not feel that wise right now. Like, I was just like, this is a different person. But this is who I want to be again. Like, I haven't been this person. God just like planted like some scriptures in my head. Matthew 6:33, 34. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And this was a time where I was super anxious and worrying about so many things. So I was like, you know what? I need to start meditating on these verses right now. So I took a week and meditated on those verses. And by the end of the week, I looked back on everything I was worried about. It either didn't matter, it had been resolved, or it just, like, I forgot about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, God, I forgot how it feels to be close to you. It just filled me with so much hope and just like joy and peace. I was at peace. Oh my gosh. I needed to be alone and away from the distractions so that God could renew my soul and like renew my desire for him. Because when I was without him, it was scary and it was dark. I mean, I wasn't without him, but just like he wasn't my first priority. And I realized that he needs to be. And that's what's really important for me. It's great because I can always come back to him. And I think that's amazing. So that was my biggest lesson I learned this year. Just that I need to keep God like in my front vision, not get distracted. So I hope this year I can continue to do that. But I just wanted to share. I probably didn't need to go abroad to learn this, but that's what happened. And, you know, being in Spain to learn it is not the worst place to be. So yeah, this was pretty vulnerable. I don't even know, like, if I'm gonna share the whole thing. I don't know. But it might help someone. I don't regret anything from my time here in Seville. It was all part of my journey, and I'm really grateful to everyone I met. I love you guys so much, and I hope you watched the whole thing so you can hear me say that. So stay tuned. I'll be posting more videos soon, and I got some really good ones coming up, so I hope you stick around, and thanks for watching. See you next time.